Hey everybody, we are back. It's another fun night to get on with the guys from the Shadow Files. Now, for those of you that were here last week, you'll notice we're still wearing the same clothes because we're recording these back to back. We thought we would get straight back into it because we're going to continue with our conversation on Project Bluebeam. Here are the guys again, funnily looking exactly the same.
Yes.
All right, Fernando, come on. Get us. Oh, don't do that. I can't do that. And I'm the only Trekkie here.
I mean, my pinky started all the way over here, and I was like,
Yeah.
Come on, man. Come on.
So, come on. There was a few minutes between when we finished recording the last episode and we just kept talking and talking. So we thought just press the bloody record button and keep going. So, Fernando, you had a few things to say.
Yeah, no, because like how I was mentioning, we could definitely do a part 2 because this basically spreads out throughout all of our, past shows that we recorded, especially with conspiracy theories. And there's just so much to unravel with this Project Bluebeam that, For example, how I was mentioning earlier when you were talking about how people were seeing giants and certain things in the sky. And then, we're talking about how China developed an artificial sun, and what else? The thought of seeing certain things up in the sky, is it really going to make us feel like the end of the world is coming? Like, is this Armageddon?
No. What you got the key word there is the end of the world as we know it, not the end of the world full stop. That will happen one day, but that's going to be when the sun dies or it goes supernova and we just get blasted or, it just overtakes us. But the world as we know it, people don't like change now. And a lot of people love change, but can't deal with it, and there's a lot of people that are just technos who are just looking for that change, and that's the different groups. Now, just as a little example, and I didn't want to go too far with this, but my dad had his last car for 25 years, okay? He bought a new car and picked it up this afternoon. He's gone from a car, he's never driven an automatic before. He's got a manual, he drove a manual stick shift, for those of you in America, and absolutely no technology. I mean, it still had a cassette recorder kind of thing in it. That's how long he had it. Today he picked up brand new hybrid. Doesn't even have a shifter. It's got a little knob to change gears. It's just a little twisty thing to change from drive and stuff like that. It's got GPS built into it, and the guy started talking to him. Everything's digital, and Dad just looked blankly like, I don't understand any of this. That's what most of the population is going to be like when these things start. Even the stuff that we're talking about now, we don't even know what's involved about the technology to make this become a reality. But when you get your head around it, it's not as scary as what it is. But if there is an actual alien agenda, what we were talking about, maybe it's not just some kind of a situation where people are making it look like an alien invasion. What if it is the actual aliens making it look like the illusion of an alien invasion? Does that still give us a little bit of security in ourselves, or does it actually really, really mess people up? Talking about it,
I think it'll be a bit of both regardless.
Well, what's interesting, right? My favorite TV film, really bad B-grade film, and Jeremy knows exactly where I'm going to go with this, has the best fight scene over a pair of put the bloody glasses on in your life. They Live, I think it's called.
Masters! What do these things want, and why are they here?
You still don't get it, do you, boy?
They have recruited the rich and the powerful.
They're running the whole show.
Wake up! They're all about you, all around you. Blinded us to the truth.
Take a look.
They are safe as long as they are not discovered.
I don't know what they are or where they came from, but we gotta stop them.
Stay away from me.
Put these on.
They have us. Look at them. They're everywhere. Our owner. We have no other choice.
I don't like this one bit.
Leave it alone, man. It ain't none of my business. Ain't none of yours.
We have been lulled into a trance.
Listen to what I'm saying to you. We're in trouble. The whole world's in trouble.
Control us.
You're sending some kind of signals out of TV sets.
I've got one that can see.
Mama don't like tattletale.
Now we start spilling some blood. Let's go.
Push a button.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
One with that wrestler guy from the 1980s. But that is all about how aliens had already infiltrated Earth. They had used some kind of a signal to mask what they really look like. We see them as humans, right? But they were infiltrating all parts of government, TV, media, all of these different places, banking institutions. They controlled everything that we were doing, but we couldn't see it unless you wore these sunglasses that saw through the filter. And when you look through these glasses, not only do you see the aliens for what they really are, but on every, and this goes into everything we've just been talking about as well, every billboard, every slogan has hidden subliminal messaging behind it about obey and all that sort of thing, you know. Subduing the populations, controlling the populations, and then doing what they want to do. They've got to get us into the place where they want us. And I don't know what that is. Now, while we're talking about them controlling TV shows and things like that, I've watched a lot of Stargate episodes where they go into alternate realities or they go into the past. And then there's the one where they actually were watching a TV show about a Stargate, about themselves, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if, and here we go, right? What if that is really happening now? We are being totally controlled. Everybody says the reptilians can almost wear human skin, like they're doing V. But the fact that I am now speaking about so many different TV shows that are talking about different aspects of this same subject, how much have we actually been conditioned that we're not even aware of?
Hey, all I'm gonna know is that all I'm gonna say is that when the government came out and basically, you know, with the whistleblowers talking about that aliens are real, last year or 2 years ago, whatever. Everybody on TikTok was like, I don't care. Lower these bills. They're too expensive. Like, so we've definitely been conditioned to a certain aspect, especially if we start talking about like which generation you're in. Because I'm sorry, but the 80s and 90s kids, like, I think we're built to survive pretty much
anything. Yeah, we are.
Now, everybody beyond that, I don't know. There might be, you know, a little bit, you know, flimsy, but yeah. I mean, Jesus Christ, we've all witnessed a terrorist attack here in New York, pandemic. I mean, just natural disaster after natural disaster.
Yeah.
Just this morning, I saw that a video of a group of, you know, a crowded beach. And a huge wave just came, no warning, no nothing. Everybody, you know, to me, honestly, I'm like, you know, when I go to the beach, I'm already looking out and just spacing out. But also in the back of my head, I'm like, if I see a strange wave heading towards us, I'm already booking it. I mean, I don't know.
In all honesty, if you see a strange wave heading towards you, it shouldn't be anything to worry about. What you need to worry about is if the sea suddenly disappears And then you see a wave, because that
that's
means
a tidal wave.
that's a big one. That's a big one. So yeah, I would be worried more about that.
Thank you for giving me some pointers.
So going back to the whole, screen in the sky, and then you're saying, what if the aliens are already here?
Yeah.
And then you look at the conditioning for that. We've got films that predict that, like you say, have The Watch. You've got The Neighbors as well, which are aliens as humans in suburbia with families. But then you also think about it. What if the aliens are us?
I love this.
No, I know that sounds far-fetched to a point. But what if we are, and the Big Bang was the craft that hit the Earth, dinosaurs are gone, and we're the real intruders?
Well,
I know that sounds absolutely crazy.
No. There's a lot of scientific. I don't know if you say scientific research, but there's definitely a lot of theories that we are actually from another planet, another place, and that we crash landed here, and that our civilization thrived here, whether it was intentional or unintentional. Now, going back to what was mentioned, like you said, in a episode a few weeks ago, and especially one that I covered on the Static Echoes channel, is that there's nothing at all unintentional about this. Everything about Earth is intentional, and in fact, it is a designed planet. It is not a natural planet, and it is all about containing us. It's a prison for our souls, which ties into so many different things. What they're saying, and in this theory, I'll just go over it super quick. It ties into Roswell and several other things, but there is a war going on out in the universe, and it is between a group called the Old Empire and almost like a rebel alliance of planets who oppose the Old Empire. Now, in this, you kind of led to believe that the Old Empire are almost reptilian, whereas the opposing rebellion, I guess, are a spiritual being of pure energy. And that is what we are. That is what our souls are. But what's happened is everybody on this planet, in this theory, is a prisoner because we've either been rebels, we've either been troublemakers out in the wider universe, or we were just inadvertently placed here, whether it be by accident or design. And once we are put into these bodies, we lose all ability to control. She said that we're massive, very, very powerful beings. We can manifest things into reality. We can change things. But when we are locked into these human bodies, all of that is gone, right? And then there is a net or a force field all the way around the planet. We're being watched all the time in this theory as well. We haven't been told where we're being watched from, but we are being watched, and I would say subtly controlled or corrected if you go to the John Lear test.
Subtly?
Yeah. And what happens then is when we die in this theory, obviously our soul is released. The first thing we try to do is we've now got access to ourselves. We shoot straight for space, hit this net. What it does, it doesn't kill you. It doesn't kill the being. It erases you. It erases your memories. Everything you've loved, gone. Everything you've done, gone. And then to contain you, you're thrown back into another body to live another life. Rinse and repeat. What does that sound like to you?
Also,
we're now talking about reincarnation and things like that.
Yes. And then that also goes in with the whole slip-ups of some people can remember past lives.
Yes, exactly.
Because there's always going to be glitches.
Yeah.
But to do with what brought this up to me is I saw a piece written, and it said in 1968, researcher Enrich von Däniken first proposed that human life. Pardon?
Eric von Däniken. He's the one that wrote Chariots of the Gods.
Yeah. Yes. So he proposed that human life may have originated on another planet. What followed was panspermia theory, the scientific hypothesis that if life arrived on Earth in a microbial form for deep space, but there have been darker theories that 66 million years ago that the event wiped out dinosaurs may not have been a random asteroid. Some researchers argue it was a UFO crash landing carrying our own ancestors who spent millions of years with their DNA adapting to Earth's atmosphere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Obviously, it's not a book.
No.
It's not from the book.
From what Gary was saying, because that was definitely part of your life, and I didn't catch the name of the book.
Oh, the book. Eric von Däniken wrote the book, The Chariots of the Gods. It goes into the ancient aliens theory. In fact, he was one of the first to actually push this into the mainstream. And it's so compelling, the book. If you haven't read it, it's definitely worth reading. It goes into so much detail about, well, stuff that we've already talked about how you're seeing, basically, if an alien ship was to come down and you put it into a frame of reference from somebody who lived 2,000 years ago, we would look up and go, it's a plane, it's a helicopter, whatever. That didn't happen back then. Oh, the gods are coming down because humans can't do that. Yeah. They had no concept of aliens. It was the gods. And that's where the chariots of the gods, because the chariot back then was the vehicle of the rich and the famous, or the royalty. So that's the chariot. But because it's coming down from the sky, it's the gods coming down. So it's the chariots of the gods, which is basically a flying saucer, a spaceship. It's in their frame of reference. Yeah.
But you think about it, it's like people are like, oh, this can't be true. It doesn't line up with modern science. Go back then and be like, what we're doing today doesn't fall in line with their modern science or mainstream science.
And this is one of the things that absolutely canes me about when you watch all these people that turn around and say, there's no way life can exist beyond this world. Well, one, there's got to be a million, billion, trillion other planets with the same conditions as we have here on Earth, right? Yeah. We are carbon-based entities, for lack of a better term. Mm-hmm. So they're talking about life as we know it, carbon-based entities. So one of the studies that actually said what creates our DNA, what creates us, are some of the most common building blocks in the universe, not just the galaxy, in the universe. So the chances are more than likely that there's going to be an infinite number. Some are going to be exactly like us. Some are going to be mildly different. Some are going to be completely different. But that's still within the realm of carbon-based life forms. Just because we haven't seen anything else doesn't mean the other ones don't exist. I'm talking there could be silicon-based life forms. There could be this. There could be that. We just haven't. We just haven't had we haven't conceived the idea of that.
Sorry.
It's funny. Huh?
It made me laugh when you said silicon-based life forms, because my mind just went the opposite way into the gutter.
I bet it did.
Yeah, AI and silicon-based keeps lonely men happy.
It's another control mechanism.
Yeah, there you go. But it's funny that you mentioned, the people falling from the sky, or like ships and stuff like that. As you mentioned that, it's actually the 4 stages of this Bluebeam. Yeah. One of them is being a space-based holographic show, fake alien ships or gods.
Yep.
So as soon as I read that, as soon as you said that, I just saw that right there. And what is that that video game that we've spoke about that is meant to like
Polybius.
Polybius,
yeah.
So all of that, even way back. Jesus. Well, that episode was like last year, right? That
was 2 years ago, that one. And this is the thing, right? these individual, you're talking about MK Ultra, you're talking about every different one of these organizations and whatever, talking mind control, how to control, like Polybius, how to control your victims through synapses, visual stimuli and sounds and frequencies and things like that. How do you control somebody like that? Well, once you've mastered that, then you master the delivery system, which is what they're talking about now with the projection systems and the substrates in the sky to project onto. It's all in phases. Mm-hmm. I had something else I was going to bring up right then, and I've just had a complete brain fart, and I can't remember what it was. So I don't know if they've actually put a kibosh on me saying it.
They've corrected it.
Yeah. And this is another thing, right? There was the big uproar when they fired up the Large Hadron Collider because it was going to create a black hole on Earth, and then Earth was going to get sucked into it. How do we not know that didn't happen, or it didn't branch off creating more multiple universe type situations, and different people were suddenly shifted into different parts of that simulation, if you know what I mean? You might have been over there, so you've gone into that reality. I was over here, so I've gone into this reality, and it's happened all across the planet. Not everybody who you've been with might actually be the original person. It could be a different version of that person. You know what I mean? It can mess with your mind a little bit. And I think Fringe goes into that TV show Fringe. See, we're talking about TV shows again. Fringe goes into that a little bit about alternate realities and how an alternate me can cross over into this one or cross over into that one. Sliders looked at it. Pure entertainment, these shows, but how much of it was starting the conditioning process?
Man, just a thought. I mean, Jesus, talking about that we might be the aliens or like that there's aliens all around us. I mean, that's Supergirl also. Supergirl. Like there's aliens all over the place, and it is like a nice family TV show, right? Oh man, Jesus Christ.
Well, what better way to get to mass groups of people than make it a family-friendly experience? If you start going to pure horror, you're only going to get a select group of the population that like to go see a horror. Sci-fi, again, these are the fringe. I mean, it's more mainstream now, but do that. But make it a family-friendly film like, Escape from, what's it called? Witch Mountain, whatever it's called, that Disney film. Things like that. Even that show, that one that I loved, what's it called? Tomorrowland with George Clooney in it, and it's got that guy from House, Hugh Laurie. That touches on the whole alternate reality thing as well. And in a much more subtle but very family-friendly way. And in that process, they actually created a machine. If you haven't seen it, they actually were able to create a machine that could show you the future and multiple places, this, that, and the other. But there was that much power creating it that it was actually pushing what it was seeing onto the people in our reality. And what it was doing is it was showing their end, the world's end, nuclear bombs and things like that. But because it was projecting this signal out into our reality, it was that powerful that it was actually starting to make us basically create and fulfill our own destiny. And that's what this TV show is about. So you break that signal back, then the programming is gone, the signal, the controls are gone, and everything can potentially go back to normal. It's such pure entertainment to watch it as a film, but what if that is actually happening in reality? We don't know if it's happening because it's happening to us. We don't realize what's happening, It's like what they say, if you want to kill a crab or something like that, you heat the water up, throw the crab in, it's dead. But if you stick a crab in the water and then heat it up, it lives for ages, tortured as the water gets hotter before it dies. What if that's us?
Yeah.
We're just getting simmered and we're starting to get heated up. Whereas if they just come straight out from the sky, bang, straight into the hot water and away you go.
Man, that's a wild theory. Jeez, that's so interesting.
Look,
Age.
if we get invaded by aliens, I just hope mine go nanu nanu.
Oh, God. I'll put the camera on you specifically for you to go nanu nanu.
But he doesn't go this way.
Shut up.
He goes that way.
Yeah. That's the gangster way of doing it. Anyway, look, we're almost out of time again. You know, this conversation just keeps building and building and building. And because it ties into so much of what we do and what we talk about, we could probably go into a part 3 and a part 4.
Well, the part 3 will be coming after the date, so.
Well, there will be another part. There will be another part coming in August. Whether it's part 3 or part 15, I don't
it might
know.
be part 4.
Yeah.
The way tonight's going, it might be part 4.
Yeah,
That is so funny because on the last episode we mentioned that August 2026 was that everything's gonna happen, and the part 3 comes out like in freaking September. We're like, we're still here.
false alarm, people.
No, but it ties into everything.
Look, in all honesty,
Maybe
when you talk about these predictions and everything, they're 90% wrong, but they can always write stuff into to match it and make it work. You know what I mean? Like, how many times is Donald Trump supposed to have been assassinated by now? You know, and he's still causing havoc on it. And that's another thing, right? Talking about controlling the whole bloody planet. What's happened by his little attack on Iran?
I'm going to have to head off.
Yep.
I have a crying 3-year-old I'm going to deal with.
All right. Okay.
Good night.
See ya.
Have a good one.
That's just stuffed everything up.
Yeah.
All right. I think we'll call. I don't even think I can fix that from there. I think we'll call that for now, and we will pick that up later.
Definitely continue with a part 3.
But anyway, while you're talking to half of Fernando's head in one screen and the top of his head in the other screen, where I was going was oil prices have gone through the roof. As a result of that, petrol prices have gone through the roof. Hang on. Well, I'll just put it onto me because it saves you having to bend over and stuff. And here in Australia, my car's diesel. And at one point there, it got to $3.36 a litre. All right. And people are, oh, shit. Before the war happened, just a month or two ago, I was paying $1.56 a litre. Now it got up to $3.36 a litre. And it's bloody expensive. The other day, it's dropped down to about $2.60 at least. I'm going, oh, it's so cheap now. I want to fill it up. But cheap? It's still $1 more than what I was paying a few weeks ago. It's controlling your head. It's messing with you. So there you go. You split screen again. For
sure.
It's a way of programming.
Definitely everything was going on is that it's going to drive a lot of people bonkers.
Yeah.
But is it a way to condition us to prepare us for something else?
Possibly.
Because honestly, this thought just came into my head.
Yep.
What if something world changing does happen in August and we do end up still being able to record? How would that be like after August?
Well, I'll be happy because we're still alive.
No, for sure. But are we going to be like breaking news from?
Let me put it to you like this, right? If we're all dead after August, who would we be broadcasting to anyway?
Well, I'm not gonna. Hey.
What?
My thought process is like, let's say aliens show up in August.
Yeah.
Like the world is going crazy because, there's a spaceship in my backyard, right? How are we going to record the episode afterwards?
Oh, there we go. I've got that, but my Static Echoes thing's popped up, so I better turn that off quick. At least I can go with that for now.
Oh, man. No, for sure. But yeah, that would be freaking wild.
Yeah.
just a thought then, or nothing happens and then we're going to be like, hey.
Well, look, my hope is that we're still broadcasting for many years to come and nothing's going to get in the way. You know, this beard is going to get a bit grayer around the edges. Then we can do Santa episodes. Oh. On that, oh shit, I just did that.
Sure.
On that, it is time to go, guys. We are out of time for tonight, so stay tuned for a part 3. I don't know when, but it will be happening soon, and there will definitely be I don't know whether I want to call it a conclusion or whether I want to call it an update in August. So until then, keep looking up.
See you later.
Another tale that chills the spine. You came for fright and jokes between the warning signs. We chased the bumps, the creaks behind your bedroom door. Now Gary, Jeremy, for now.